Your father and I have spoken about your fiancé, Mary. We believe he'll be an honorable husband for you. We'll set a date for the marriage then. That way, I'm sure one of my children will give me grandchildren. I understand your thirst for knowledge, Jonathan, and your father and I are proud of it. But you are not that young anymore, my son. When will I meet your soulmate? You can ascribe my romantic tendencies to my French origins if you want, Aubrey. But I'll never cease to believe in a match made in heaven, my beloved.
I really wish you could meet her, Mother. You would love her. The Ascalon Club. The heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected.
Women die too in this war!
Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young beckons. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
And hello there, this is the WolfSage. I know the irony of the WolfSage playing Vampyr and such. We'll leave that alone. Anyway, I'm just putting my headset on now. Wasn't sure if I was going to actually play with the mic on, but now I am. Because that was a good laugh. She just... Oh, thank you, Charlotte. You're awesome. So... I typically use a Blue Yeti microphone for my mic today, but I don't really feel like putting that on. So I'm just going to roll with the Kraken headset as I usually do for headphone purposes, audio purposes and such. But yes, now then, my dear Charlotte.
What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night.
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility.
Naturally.
Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
No. Maybe a little bit.
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, may I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
Naturally. Well said, Charlotte. Well said.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes.
Yes.
I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Is that really how it was back then?
Are you a suffragette, then?
I didn't realize.
Oh, you really
Wow.
are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time. Even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
And I just decided to throw in the Blue Yeti. I wasn't certain if I was going to stream today or not, but so this is a little spontaneous. Actually, I just got through watching Van Helsing, the TV show, and it made me want to play this, so I was like, you know, I think I'm going to stream this today.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and
Oh,
a
man.
suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
We'll be back.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Doo-doo. Oh, right. One moment, please. This was so funny. No, Mr. Vampire, please don't eat me. I'm too young to die. I think that's all the shortcuts now opened up. Not yet. I'm going the wrong way, though. First, I need to go back over here. Who the hell? Oh, I know who that is laughing. Oh, we'll deal with you in a moment. Yes, Clarence, we know. We know. We know. Dawson and Dawson. Okay, it was right here. I went the wrong way. Oh, there's a woman I truly pity. Damn. How the hell did I get to that house again? Oh, I see. I went the wrong way. Need to head back over to Charlotte. Oh, and I can take that off now. And then straight. I'll grab that. Over this way. That way. Through here. Right there. Or am I wrong? I see the blood trail now. Oh, but that's a different one. That's not the one I'm looking for. It's been a bit since I've done this mission. Are you... I was gonna say, are you kidding me? Very well, then. Hold on a second, though. So now I'm a little...
Women of all countries unite!
Power to the women. Ah, I see now. I get it. I don't think I'll be able to get in there quite yet, then. Right, and they're not here yet, so... And I can't get in there yet until I get to 4. Naive. You think you could run? Let's go. Oops. Beware. Well, then in that case. Hi, Clarence.
Support the equality between men and women!
Might as well just get this out of the way then in that case. No, Mr. Vampire, please don't eat me.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
No.
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
In front of a
The
moron.
Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
How very pretentious of you then. Like, do you know where you were standing? Like, nah.
There has been quite a battle here.
Yeah, I love what you've done with the place. And what you haven't done with the place.
I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Well, they might just keep it the way it is. Adds a bit of flair to the place. Before I go and meet with Lord Douchebag. Redgrave. How dare you? How dare you? It's locked. Read anything. No. Just no. Definitely don't want to go out there yet. Upstairs. On the right. Through here. Give me that. Thank you. I'm gonna need that. Just grab all the loot. Grab the loot. Grab the loot. Grab the loot. Like he just said, they got the money to replace it. So, thanks. Appreciate it. Nope. Stay away from that. Cheers. It's been a little bit of kind of a while since I've played this, especially this far into the game. So I'm jumping right back into it after, I don't know, it feels like a few weeks. Well, since I've actually been on this part, it's been a lot longer than that. I think the last time I played this, it was actually on Xbox. Alright, I think we're good. We're all about to meet Donald Trump's, 1918 alter ego, Aloysius Dawson.
Good evening.
Not if you're P1.
My good friends, if I may have your attention.
Let's be real, if you don't have friends.
Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
You do
Come
him
forward,
proud.
young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss.
Do we really, though?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
You're a stain on my boot.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Eat
Thank
shit.
you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
She's a close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is immortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
Fuck
What do
no.
you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Oh. Why so suddenly friendly? Why suddenly so
Why are
friendly?
you suddenly so friendly? The last time I met one of yours, he tried to kill me.
Are you referring to Fergal? He was the most useful of servants, but he was just a servant. You, on the other hand, Doctor, proved yourself much more worthy.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
How dare you?
How dare you speak so flippantly of my family?
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
About that.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Serve
ask.
you.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later.
Liar.
The good knight has been gone for so long.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
What dragon did he slay?
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members. And I do appreciate obedience.
I'm sure you do.
I agree to join the club.
This
For
is
now.
good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation.
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country.
Yeah, first, yeah.
My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
His ain't.
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall. Speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance.
Right.
I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
Yeah, you said that already.
Delightful.
What did you... Hold up.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Not for long. All of you are scum.
I personally went patrolling last
especially
night,
you.
and I spotted at least 2 foreign Ekons. This is an outrage. We shall chase these intruders down.
I was chased by a gigantic Valcon 2 nights ago. I thought it was Fergal coming back, but no. That creature barely spoke English.
Oh, the atrocity.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece?
Good evening, scum.
I feel like the newcomer, and I do not like it at all.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
The very definition of privilege right there was that answer that he just gave him.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
Of course it is.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
Very soon.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, And a dying one at that.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself.
Of course you do.
My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
That's time.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Is that so?
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A
Displeasure.
withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are
Not
you
fast
sick,
enough.
Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
And the one sitting in a really, really nice red chair.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
What do you know about the Guard of Prewin?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
Is that so?
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
Which would essentially be a form of quarantine. Ow! It's like you're not even trying to be that dumb.
By doing so, you would create two separate ghettos. What if the disease gets past the wall? The results would be disastrous.
Not if we eliminate all suspected cases of infection as soon as they appear. A necessary sacrifice.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
Are you not a human? Bound within moral concerns?
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was.
Let's not say things we really don't mean.
Ago. Well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Spying on me?
You were spying on me?
Not personally. I rarely leave this building.
I'm sure.
But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Good riddance.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No. He was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me?
Of course not. You're...
Could give a damn about that if he did or didn't.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally. But I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish, and is a good friend of yours.
I wouldn't say that.
But I consider him my good friend.
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
That's funny. You forbid me to do any damn thing.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the skulls.
What?
Skulls are hostile vectors of contagion. That is a fact. But first and foremost, they are victims.
I agree, Dr. Reed. Most of the new skulls who roam the streets at night used to be good British citizens. But they must be put down nevertheless.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club, and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Finally, done speaking with your dumbass.
Out and singing obscure songs around the city. What is this new malevolence?
Oh, I did not actually...
Skulls have been spotted everywhere in London. We are losing this fight.
Hold on, I want to hear what he said about the one-horned vampire.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
All countries unite!
Might as well get this on the books.
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard.
And life.
My
And
case
unlife.
was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. The epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other. And so many things have happened.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Well, actually, you could say that they have that in common, Clarence, the two of you. Mr. Crossley.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
Oh?
Clarence, why have you distributed leaflets about vampires all across the West End?
I have to warn everybody about them. They've killed thousands of people already, unnoticed thanks to the epidemic. We are all in danger here.
Vampires in London? Come on, Clarence. Who's going to believe that?
I'm not mad, Jonathan. You have to believe me. I know they are real. They're all around us, even as we speak.
I know.
Clarence, you've always been a reliable and a good friend to me. If you say you saw a vampire, then I believe you.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for your trust. You don't know what that means to me.
It's all right. But if you want my help, you have to explain exactly what happened.
The first time it was in Rouen. I saw an officer drink the blood of a soldier. I saw its teeth.
The first time?
Bite. It was a vampire, Johnny, and they're here too.
Interesting.
You need some rest, Cloud.
You give me no other choice, Clarence. Yes, my love, it's a new tea I bought. Not too bitter for your taste, I hope. Drink your tea, my love. Drink it to the last drop. And shut your damn trap for good.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Jonathan, is that you? I did not know you were back in London. Oh, my dear Johnny. I'm so sorry for your loss. Mary was such a sweetheart.
Thank you, Venus. May I come in?
I was going to bed, actually.
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan. I'm so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
I'll be sure to wipe my ass with that apology. And your condolences.
Welcome here. But at this hour of night?
No invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign. No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in.
Before he even knew anything, just the killer was, it was already labeled killer. Already labeled a homicider.
Emily wanted to become a vampire. Something must have gone wrong. Someone is responsible for this mess. But who? Blood. I should follow the trail.
But I guess it was really what he said first, no invitation was needed, so it's like automatically right then and there he knew somebody was dead. Or he knew she was dead.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I intend to do so very soon, thank you. But for the moment, I'd like to shed light on the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
Who are you?
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes, at your service, my dear cousin.
We ain't cousins.
Dear cousin. Are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't you?
Nope.
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing tastes.
Yeah, disturbing, no doubt.
What are you doing here?
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate, yet intense spectacle.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
You take pleasure from others' misery.
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir. And probably before.
Probably like he doesn't remember.
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last redingote.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
The body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
You die now.
Your cruelty deserves punishment, sir.
And what else is new?
Pathetic. What was that? Maggots. Pathetic. I'm gonna tear your throat out with my teeth. It's done. Clarence Holbein, I say.
Good evening, old chap.
Old chap, Holbein.
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Yeah, I can tell. So, by the way, did you know...
Venus is poisoning you, Clarence. She wants you dead.
So she really hates me that much now. My poor wife. I had no idea my research would drive her to such extremes.
I'm sorry, Clarence.
Why would you tell me that? First you returned from the dead, and now you tell me my wife is trying to murder me.
So you have no suspicions about her at all? Nothing in Venus's behavior has seemed odd since you returned?
Frankly, it's my behavior that's been odd. Ever since I got back from the war, she accuses me of being paranoid and delusional.
I won't doubt on the paranoid part. Delusional is another story, but the other thing is what do you mean, why would I tell you that? That's just dumb. A redundant question.
You're a stupid bastard, but you're my friend, Clarence. And I don't have many left. I don't want you to die. Not like that.
But I love her. I love my wife. Did I make her suffer that much? Have I become such a burden?
Wow, you are really just a dumbass, you know that?
You need some rest.
Support the equality between men and women.
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed.
So, yeah, about Emily.
I have found out what happened to your friend, Emily.
I can handle the truth. There's no need to hide the bloody details.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure? To become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood?
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires. I never thought she'd actually try it without me. Thank you, sir. Here, take this for your discretion.
Goodbye, Charlotte.
She's been quite...
Finally. How very cheek. A vampire hunter. Well, you're no Van Helsing. Or Blade. Actually, I think they would laugh at you. It's like, you, a vampire hunter. Ha! That's adorable. Oh, right. I remember now. I don't have your money.
For peace of mind.
You're in the way. Move. Now, who the hell do you think you are just banging on people's doors? Time for a snack. Stamina the stamina consumption's much lower. Oh, but this one will have a higher, okay, amount of damage done. I see. I'd rather have that though. 6. I'm ready to switch my fit back though.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
I have a lot to do, Doctor.
Goodbye, Nurse.
Still more coming. How can we be sure we're making a difference? I will not let you down.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland. And good evening to you. Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Do you think Dr. Strickland has any chance of curing the Spanish flu by himself?
His wish to cure the sick is not driven by pride, but by an idealistic view about our mission here. Honestly, I don't know which is worse.
You consider him a good practitioner, yet you will not report his methods.
Strickland may be a rival, but I will not use dirty tricks or regulations to prove him wrong. We are doctors, not politicians.
Thank you for your... Good evening. And good evening to... Did you know Dr. Ackroyd never reported your experimental research, despite the fact he doesn't agree with it?
Really? I didn't suspect he knew about my work. I must confess I am surprised.
Perhaps he thinks you should realize for yourself the danger of what you're doing.
See how condescending he can be? My God, he can be so irritating.
Do you need my med?
I would have...
There is no shame in...
Many doctors...
You are the irritating one. Well, technically, you both are.
No. I could have been a great surgeon. The greatest.
Hubris. Oh, damn. I forgot to get his. Okay. Well, we'll be right back right after these messages.